now have to be at a silver medal to get first rights. How often do contractors lose first rights and still maintain the contract? So that goes to what you were saying, Leah, about the contracts essentially being evergreen, but kind of tell people what you mean by, if we say first rights, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so that's your first right to negotiate, basically your ability to negotiate a new contract is what that means. And again, you lose your first rights by contract breaches. In this case, speaking to silver, that's going to be your medal status, which is tied to your safety. So if you have any major breaches of safety, any major breaches of service over your period of time, you can lose your first rights. You don't always lose your contract when you lose your first rights. As far as how often that happens, I don't know that I'm personally involved in contract negotiations enough to answer that particular question. I don't want to lead anybody astray there, but you can lose your first rights and keep your contract if you make steps to mitigate your issues.
Yeah. As far as the number of silvers, bronzes, golds out there, there's a lot of speculation about this, but in general, what we've seen is that it generally follows a bell curve. So there's, 10%, 80%, 10%. It's roughly the distribution. There might be a little bit higher on one end or another, but the vast majority of contractors out there are going to fall into the silver category. So again, the only reason you go into bronze is because you're having major service failures, major safety issues, serious contractual breaches like integrity violations, threats of violence, things like that. You're not just going to go bronze by accident, and you're going to probably have a lot of breadcrumbs that got you there that's going to tell you how to get back out into silver. And one of the interesting things about the metals is that you always have a trending component to that as well. So you'll always hear someone say, I'm silver trending gold, which means your metrics and it's based on a 3-month period. Your metrics for that quarter are showing that you're doing better than you were the last quarter. So you're trending towards gold. So that's what you always want to see. And there's a lot of contractors that are silver trending bronze, but they're still silver, which means when you get to that contract renegotiation period, if you're still silver, then you're still going to be able to have the first right to refuse to negotiate that contract. It's not just going to be pulled.